No rounds. No rules.
You don't give a damn, you don't care, you don't have no feelings, you don't have no care about nothing, but just destruction.
When I first started fighting, the biggest prize you got was going to jail.
Kimbo Slice, from the street to internet sensation, undefeated as a pro. This one is over! And ready to prove he belongs among the elite.
I'm here to stay, man.
But Tank Abbott has been knocking guys out since way before the internet, and he's ready to defend his turf.
There's no substitute for skill, talent, and most of all, experience.
Tank opened the door as the original brawler of mixed martial arts. Is he still the bad boy of the cage?
I'm not afraid of any man who walks this earth. If you want to step up, we'll go.
Or will Kimbo Slice kick that door down and stake his claim?
He's a brawler, I'm a brawler.
They both know victory is only one punch away.
Him being a fighter from the past, me being a fighter in the present. Who's the baddest man on the street?
In the heat of Miami, two tough guys are about to enter the cage, and only one will emerge as the true baddest man of elite extreme combat. These are the mean streets of Miami, where fighting for your very existence is often a way of life. Tonight, hometown hero Kimbo Slice has used his personal drive and fierce intensity to propel himself from the street to elite. And Kimbo has plans to grab everything that makes Miami, Florida, a land of hopes realized and dreams come true. Welcome inside to the Bank United Center. We are on the campus of the University of Miami, home of the Hurricanes, and a record-paid crowd for this venue is expected here tonight to witness the approaching storm of crushing knockouts and superlative submissions that is brewing on the horizon as we bring you the first Elite XC event of the year, Straight Certified. Headlining tonight's impressive card, the fight everyone is talking about, Kimbo Slice versus Tank Abbott. It's old school banging from Abbott versus the new school YouTube internet sensation, Kimbo Slice. And while the buzz surrounding the main event has reached a fever pitch, the rest of tonight's lineup is equally impressive. Former UFC heavyweight champion Rico Rodriguez takes on a man many believe is the future of the heavyweight division, Antonio Silva. In a middleweight matchup, Australian Kyle Noak hopes to continue his impressive run against hard-hitting Elite XC newcomer Scott Smith. In a very intriguing contest at 160 pounds, the resurgent Eve Edwards takes on talented up-and-comer Edson Berto. And while tonight's event promises to end with a bang, former Pride veteran James Thompson and undefeated Brett Rogers looks to kick things off with a heavyweight explosion all of their own. Hello once again, I'm Mauro Ranallo. Welcome to the Sunshine State, where tonight things promise to heat up with a tremendous evening of mixed martial arts. Now, some are referring to the main event as sport. Some are calling it a spectacle. But regardless of how you view this fight, it is a must-see bout. And joining me tonight, the fight professor, Stephen Quadros. And Stephen, you have followed Tank Abbott's career from the very beginning. His calling card has always been his power.
It really has. Most newer fans know Tank Abbott by the video that's on YouTube of him bench pressing 600 pounds. Of course, that'll help your punching power. But he burst on the scene in 1995, and he was brash. He was arrogant. He had a really take care attitude towards martial arts, which angered a lot of people. In the years to come, his training was a little bit iffy, but I always said an in-shape Tank Abbott is a danger. Well, he's in shape tonight.
Also joining me tonight is a larger-than-life sports personality, Bill Goldberg. Now, Bill, obviously Kimbo Slice cut his teeth on the mean streets of Miami. He's evolving into a full-fledged mixed martial artist. In fact, you had a chance recently to train with Kimbo Slice. What was that like?
Before we talk about that humbling experience, Mauro, Quadros, do you feel it?
Yeah.
Do you feel it? You have the East Coast bad boy street fighter versus the West Coast bad boy street fighter. And if anybody out there thinks that Kimbo Slice is not taking this seriously, they're sadly mistaken. He has employed two of the top MMA instructors in Randy Katana Tommy and Boss Root. And tonight, we're going to see if that training has paid off.
All right, it looks to be an incredible night of mixed martial arts, and really, Kimbo Slice didn't have far to travel for tonight's main event. Miami, after all, is his backyard, and he could have probably walked to tonight's fight. But with all the attention on this match, Kimbo rated a special police escort for his on-time arrival. Tank Abbott, hailing from Huntington Beach, California, well, he finds himself in hostile territory tonight, but this hard-hitting puncher is no stranger to unfriendly confines. And you know what, guys, after all the trash talking leading up to tonight, I'm glad to see they didn't meet on the street and both actually made it here for this street fight in the cage. All right, let's get things started. It should be a slugfest in the heavyweight division as James Thompson makes his Elite XC debut against an undefeated newcomer in Brent Rogers. And for the official introductions, here's the maestro of the microphone, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the cage of Elite XC, please welcome the powerful and undefeated heavyweight, Brett the Grim Rogers.
Brett Rogers is a native of St. Paul, Minnesota, making his Elite XC debut on the eve of his 27th birthday. And you know, he's already sacrificed a lot in order to give himself an opportunity for an early birthday present.
Here's a guy who's got 4 kids. He quits his job so he can focus on a full-time MMA career, which shows to me, guys, that he's willing to do whatever it takes to be successful.
And he's been successful so far because he just runs out there and mugs the guys he fights. Most of his wins are by TKO. He's got a great right hand, and he definitely talks the talk.
Yeah, that's right. He displayed his verbal jousting ability in talking about this fight tonight.
I feel this is what I've been born to do. You know, I don't never want to lose. I don't want to lose in nothing. Thompson, it seems like his confidence is going down. I'm going to make sure on the 16th that it's going to go down even further. 17th is my birthday, so this is like a birthday gift for me. I'm going to bring it. I want it real bad, man. Real bad.
And now, making his way to the cage and making his U.S. debut, here is the explosive James the Colossus Thompson.
Well, here is James Thompson, someone I've had an opportunity to see fight on many occasions while working for Pride Fighting in Japan. This guy has the size and demeanor of what you expect out of a standout heavyweight fighter. But Stephen, you've announced his fights in the United Kingdom, and as we both know, things don't always go Thompson's way.
No, they don't, because ironically, he lost more fights than he won in his home country of the UK. But he's got some big wins in Japan, as you mentioned, like Hidehiko Yoshida and the great Don Fry. Thompson comes out like a house on fire, and win or lose, there's always excitement when James Thompson fights.
And what I don't understand, guys, is Thompson spent a lot of time recently training with Team Couture in Vegas just to become a more well-rounded fighter. And while that may be the case, in the fighters' meetings, he told us he's just going to go out and fight the same exact way that he does in the past, that he has in the past. And you know what? Tonight, we're going to see if that's a good way to do it or not.
All right, well, if his past performances are any indication, this soundbite may last longer than the fight itself.
This is going to be a really knockout, drag-out, exciting fight. Brett has got a good record, got knockout power, but I feel he's quite one-dimensional. I've got the advantage through experience. Knocking people out is good for me. That's one of the ways you win, and I like winning, so that's how I want my debut to end up. I know. The Colossus is ready!
We're set to kick off Elite XC Street Certified from Miami here on Showtime. The tail of the tape for this heavyweight opener, James Colossus Thompson, 3 years older than his opponent Rogers. Both of them come in at 6'4". Rogers has the weight advantage over the newcomer from the UK. Let's now go over the rules of combat for Elite XC. 3 judges will score the fight. Each fight will be scored based equally on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and cage control. The scoring is done in a 10-point must system. The winner of each round gets 10 points. The loser, 9 or less. There are no knees or downward elbow strikes to the head of a grounded opponent. Only the referee or doctor can stop the fight. Let's now go back to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Bank United Center here at the University of Miami, Florida, as Elite XC presents a big night of mixed martial arts coming your way. Street certified, brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink, Hunter World Markets, and Showtime. This bout coming away is a special attraction scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, introducing our judges at cage side. All from Florida, Rich Green, Chris Lee, and Tim Vanatta. Introducing our third man to the cage, our referee in charge of this bout, Troy Waugh. All right, fans, here we go. Heavyweights in the cage. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 4 inches. He weighed in at 264 pounds. He is a freestyle fighter, undefeated in his young campaign, with a record of 7 wins, no losses, 6 wins coming by way of knockout and 1 by submission. Fighting out of Team Bison in St. Paul, Minnesota, please welcome the undefeated big-time striker, Brett the Grim Rogers. And his opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He also stands at 6 feet 4 inches. He weighed in at 253 pounds. He is a freestyle fighter with a record of 16 wins, 7 losses, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout and 4 by submission. Fighting out of Extreme Couture and Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Manchester, England. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the explosive international MMA fighter, tonight making his U.S. debut, introducing James the Colossus Thompson. Once again, our referee in charge now to give instructions, Troy Waugh.
Both fighters, center of the ring. Gentlemen, we all know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. Go back to your corner. Let's get ready to rock.
We are set for heavyweight action here at Elite XC. Street certified, the mercurial James Colossus Thompson, a guy who makes coffee nervous, set to take on Brett the Grim Rogers, yet to taste defeat in 7 professional fights.
Thompson used to be a debt collector, and he starts every fight off like the guy owes him a hell of a lot of money, and he wants to collect it immediately.
Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Fighter, are you ready? Fighter, are you ready?
Referee Troy Waugh gets it underway, and wow, James Thompson wastes little time in bull rushing Brett Rogers. Surprise, surprise, Stephen.
But he didn't do what he usually does to start trading punches. He went right for the clinch and for the takedown. Go for that single leg. Trying to pick the single.
Thompson teaming at Extreme Couture with Randy, the natural couture, working on his wrestling skills, Bill.
You know, Thompson's usually the bigger guy in the fight, and in Rogers, he's up against a guy who's got the size.
Rogers using that size right now as Thompson secures a takedown, very active on the bottom. Rogers scrambling to get back up to his feet. Nice knee delivered by Thompson.
We're seeing an evolving game for Thompson, because usually, like I said, he comes out there, gets his distance, starts to trade punches. Here he's got the body lock. He's trying for the trip, trying to get Rogers down. Rogers did pop up very nicely.
Yeah, when it comes to a James Thompson fight, that bell might as well be a starter's pistol as he now unloads on Brett Rogers.
Beautiful uppercut by Thompson, but you know what? Rogers is calm. Rogers is calm. He's not panicking. He's taking his time. He's neutralizing the strength of Thompson right now.
And what makes Rogers an intriguing story is, despite having no amateur background in wrestling, he's proven to be a proficient wrestler.
We're seeing that already in this fight. Because James already got him down, he got back up.
Rogers working the body of Thompson, goes upstairs with an overhand right uppercut delivered from Thompson. They could continue to do some clinch work here. Thompson now moves Rogers against the fence again as he continues to work on the body, and they're exchanging body shots. A lot of dirty boxing going on here in the early part of round one.
Yeah, and hopefully that cage, thankfully that cage held, because that was 500 pounds in front of us.
Rogers just tested Thompson's chin, and that's one thing, Stephen, we know about James Thompson. Great-looking fighter, has potential, but has a chin that's made out of, well, Cinderella's favorite slipper.
Well, not necessarily, because anybody that gets hit right on the button by Butterbean or that giant over in England, Neil Grove, right on the shot, that's a hard thing to take. You know, I mean, so Thompson got knocked down, okay, but now he's got Rogers back on the floor, but Rogers pops back up.
I guess I remember Thompson's debut in Pride when he rushed Alexander Emelianenko and was knocked out at just 11 seconds in October 2004. As Rogers knocked out Thompson, and down goes James Thompson. Brett Rogers remains unbeaten. And what was that about the chin of James Thompson?
Well, Morrow, you're right. You are right. Thompson caught some shots. Rogers took care of business, notched another one. Man, that was impressive, though.
A very impressive win for Brett Rogers as he smokes James Thompson like a Cuban cigar in Little Havana.
Which isn't very far from here, actually. There he is, the winner, Brett Rogers. Great wrestling, but even better dirty boxing. That's what took care of it for him.
He told us in the pre-fight interviews he wants to dominate the heavyweight division here in Elite XC. His quote is, big name equals big money. And as Quinton Rampage Jackson, UFC light heavyweight champion, once told me, the cheddar makes it better, Stephen.
And I'll tell you, if he wants to dominate the division, this is a really positive first step. Still undefeated. He goes to 8-0 now.
One thing about James Thompson, he is never in a boring fight.
Never in a boring fight, and it's too bad that he has to get another L, especially in his debut here with Elite XC and the United States.
How about that, man? Looks like we do it all. It took me so long. He wants to hang on my leg.
Okay, and here we have a couple looks at what happened. James moved back, ate a knee. That overhand right really rocked his world, but boy, those last two shots basically put him out. And James actually didn't know where he was once he hit the deck.
That right hand seemed to have hit him almost on the temple. It seemed to really stun him.
Here's another look at the same action. Starts with the knee, that opens it up, bam, right on the chin. Thompson eats that overhand right, doesn't touch his chin enough, and man, that last left hand really had him out. And up against the cage, looking through the cage, we see it's Rogers who had the better game plan here. Rogers who was the better standing fighter, and Rogers who closed the show with a beautiful four-punch combination.
And what was a poised performance by Brett the Grim Rogers. You see him do a little Grim Reaper's dance at the, well, expense of James Thompson. Brett Rogers remains unbeaten here in his Elite XC debut.
There you go, baby.
Time to make it official. Let's go back up to the cage.
Yeah. It's got to be mixed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time. 2 minutes, 24 seconds in round number one. A referee in charge, Troy Waugh, stops the contest due to strikes. He is the winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Brett the Grim Rogers.
I'm up here in the ring with the winner, Brett Rogers. You know, when we did the fighters meetings the other day, his description of you was that was one scary big black dude. And your description of him was that he had a weak chin. Tell us about that.
I don't think I have to say anything, man. It shows for itself today. Hey, they may be boring me, but the guy was down, you know what I mean? Wobble, wobble.
It's all good, man. We're going to take a look at the replay up here. See how you set it up with the knee. Talk us through it.
Well, basically, I mean, I knew it was going to happen because I popped him one time and I seen him blink. And all he wanted to do was just wrestle me down to the ground. He couldn't keep me down. He's a big man. I mean, I got back up, did what I need to do. You know?
Is that the big Grim Reaper dance, man? Did you debut it here tonight?
When I touch you, you're going down. That's it.
First of all, don't touch me. Second of all, this is an early birthday present for you. Tomorrow is Brett's birthday, so everybody wish him a happy birthday and welcome to Elite XC.
Thank y'all. Let's go.
Take it, Moro and Quadros, take it back.
It's gonna be more.
On the night, I wish my boy BB Gun a happy birthday. It's Brett Rogers delivering the big guns to James Thompson and giving himself an early birthday present, improving to 8-0 with the TKO win over Colossus. Now with just one fight in the books, there's lots more to come as we build toward our main event, Kimbo Slice versus Tank Abbott. And here is what's upcoming in March on Premium Television's premier boxing and mixed martial arts network.
Lights out, run away, and Vasquez in some trouble. Tremendous give and take. Unbelievable. And down goes Marquez. Vasquez decides not to go on. Marquez is the winner. Marquez welling away at the head of Vasquez. He's going in for the finish. Incredible action. Oh, down goes Marquez.
Vasquez-Marquez 3, Saturday, March 1st on Showtime.
Coming up in March, 3 mega events on Showtime Sports. The rivalry that produced the Fight of the Year and the Round of the Year in 2007 continues on Showtime Championship Boxing. It's Vasquez-Marquez 3. Saturday, March 8th, it's a Battle of Britain on Showtime as we present a special evening of boxing and mixed martial arts. Showtime Championship Boxing presents a Cruiserweight Unification Slugfest. WBO titleist Enzo Maccarinelli versus WBA and WBC champion David Haye. Then Elite XC presents Britain's premier MMA brand, Cage Rage, featuring the debut of the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. It's another special night of MMA and boxing on Saturday, March 29th. Elite XC and Strikeforce present the showdown that has fans buzzing. The legend, Frank Shamrock against the incomparable Kung Lee. That will be immediately followed by a special edition of Showbox, featuring 4 undefeated fighters. Carl Froch fights Dennis Inkin in a WBC super middleweight elimination bout, and rising lightweight prospect John Murray squares off with John Fuchs. For more information on all Showtime sports and other programs, visit our website at show.com. And coming up on Show 2.
Amazing knockouts, heated rivalries, epic battles. You've seen it on Showtime. Now see it again on Show Sports Presents. Every night, Monday through Friday, only on Show 2.
Played football. You were with the Miami Dolphins briefly,
I played ball in high school. I was second team all day. I was ranked like 9th in the nation at middle linebacker. I didn't go to college. I went to college, but I didn't play ball in college. And I tried out with the Dolphins, and I was with them during the preseason, but things didn't work out there.
So suddenly my right hook came over here. You knew that was coming?
I seen you coming, man. But it's low, right? So you would just hit the shoulder. Right?
Do you like punching people?
Yeah.
You do? Do you ever feel bad afterwards?
Nah.
You never do?
Nah.
You never, even if a guy's like spitting out his teeth, you never?
No, not at all. But when the fight's over with, I'll say what's up, help him out, whatever. Be like, yo, you got to go to the doctor, man, get that checked out.
I gotta tell you, I couldn't help but think as you walked out, who would fight you? It's ridiculous.
Hold on a second. I want to make sure Andy Dick isn't around.
Oh, that's right. Last time Andy Dick was here, you beat. Do we have a clip of that? You beat the.
Come on,
Andy wants a little something.
Come on, little query.
Taking a look at Kimbo Slice and Tank Abbott taking a break from intense training, sharing a few laps with Jimmy Kimmel on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And what about Andy Dick? Not exactly doing the wisest thing, is it?
Well, it was a good thing that knees to the head weren't allowed on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, and Tank would hit a guy with glasses, though.
Yeah, nice snap mare there by Tank Abbott. Coming up, we have a matchup at 160 pounds as Yves Edwards makes his television debut for Elite XC, taking on Edson Berto.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome to the cage Olympic Games boxer and always dangerous shoot fighter, introducing Edson Little Tiger Berto.
Edson Berto comes from a family well-versed in combat sports. You might say that combat sports is in the family genes. His younger brother Andre coming off another impressive boxing victory last weekend. His father and trainer Duzel Berto competed in the UFC and Pride. But Bill, so far his tenure in Elite XC has been, well, a mixed bag.
I'll never let you forget this, but June of last year, he made a step forward and made me look like a genius with a heel hook that I predicted. But then he took 2 steps back in July when he lost to KJ Noons. Tonight, guys, he really needs a win.
And Berto has a tall order in front of him in Yves Edwards, who, on paper, has more experience than some people would say is a better technician. The way Edson beats Edwards is to out-hustle him.
And Berto plans to heed the advice of Raiders owner Al Davis. Just win, baby.
I'm just gonna go out there and fight. I don't really have like a game plan. I just want to see a clean knockout. When you wake up, you say, "Oh, what happened? Did I win? Or what was going on?" Whatever I can get, I'm just gonna have to take it home with me. His leg or his head, whatever. This one I have to win. There's no other way, because that's what I'm here for, to win.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the longtime and well-versed cage master, introducing Yves Edwards.
It wasn't long ago that Yves Edwards was considered one of the best lightweights in the world, if not the very best. Unfortunately, a string of losses had him contemplating his future. But since joining the highly regarded American top team right here in Florida, things appear to be looking up once again for this very talented warrior.
You know, while he may have been reassessing his career, guys, you know as well as I do, retirement was never an option for him. Here's a guy who says he still loves to be in the gym. More importantly, he still loves to fight. And I think tonight, Edwards is going to show the world that he's still a force to be reckoned with.
Well, the bottom line here is to go into the future, he's got to go way back and way back to the beginning and display the competitive fire that he had at the early part of his career, because he's had over 40 fights, and burnout, therefore, can be his worst opponent.
Edwards likes to bring something he calls thug jitsu to the cage.
What's thug jitsu? It's finding that weakness in your opponent and then breaking him. It's just about beating somebody up. I just like hitting people as far as fighting goes, you know. Of course, kicking people in the head is always pretty. And you can imagine somebody as sexy as me kicking somebody in the head, like pretty and sexy in the same ring at the same time, all coming from one individual. I want people to watch me fight and then say to the person next to them, "You see what that dude just did?" This is the modern art of the beatdown.
Taking a look at the tail of the tape for this 160-pound affair. Edwards is 3 years older than Berto. They're both the same height. Edwards came in at 160 pounds. Berto tipped the Toledo at 158.25 pounds. And now let's throw it up once again to the cage. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Elite XC presents lightweights in the cage in about scheduled 3 5-minute rounds, and made possible by New Way liquid protein from IDS, revolutionizing protein supplementation, available at GNC. And now introducing our 3 judges, scoring this bout from cage side, Hector Gomez, Rich Green, and Tim Vanata. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Jorge Ortiz. All right, fans, here we go. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 feet 9 inches. He weighed in at 158 1/4 pounds. This well-versed lightweight specializes in shoot fighting and has compiled a record of 14 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw, with 3 knockouts and 8 submissions to his credit. Representing Team Tiger, fighting out of Winter Haven, Florida, by way of Haiti, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the dangerous Edson Little Tiger Berto. And his opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 9 inches. He weighed in at an even 160 pounds. This longtime MMA lightweight standout specializes in a striking and grappling discipline he calls Thug Jitsu. His record stands at 32 wins, 13 losses, and 1 draw, with 12 knockouts and 13 submissions to his credit. Representing American Top Team and fighting out of Conroe, Texas, by way of Nassau in the Bahamas, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Eve Edwards. Once again, Jorge Ortiz is our referee in charge.
Eve, come on, Berto. Edwards, let's go. Okay, guys, we went over the rules in the locker room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. I want a clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Eve Edwards, an 11-year veteran of mixed martial arts, recently joining American Top Team, where so far so good, as he's enjoying a resurgence in his MMA career after a string of losses. Edson Berto, we talk about his family genes, the Berto family, boxers, MMA, and wrestlers.
Timekeeper, go.
Berto has won 2 in a row since losing to KJ Noons on a Show XC event. Edwards won his Elite XC debut in November, submitting Nick Gonzalez with a first-round rear naked choke. Now on Showtime, these two at 160 pounds want to prove that they are indeed contenders for KJ Noons' title.
You know, he's been around a long time, very well-rounded, but sometimes him standing and banging with his opponent gets him in a lot of trouble. Could it happen tonight with Berto?
I actually think that's a mistake for Berto to do that. Staying on the outside like this, I think he should turn this into an alley war as soon as possible and get Eve moving back.
It's all about the modern art of the beatdown for Edwards. Thug Jitsu Edson Berto felt that he overtrained for his fight with KJ Noons. Nice body and combination then by Berto, looking much better than he did in the opening round and in the entire fight against KJ Noons, getting the takedown on Edwards.
And we were talking to Edwards in the meetings, and as he says, it's very, very hard to train against leg locks too.
It really is, because especially the heel hook. Once you get that thing on, danger is imminent within less than a second.
Here you look at the face of Eve, and he's cool, calm, and collected, let me tell you.
Berto trying to work from the cross-side position now, passing the guard of Edwards. Edwards very crafty on the ground.
He really is. But Berto, if he gets a hold of those legs like Bill was alluding to, that's a problem.
Well, Edwards doing a great job of now maneuvering into half guard and even the half butterfly here. Looking to sweep Edson Berto.
You know, Eve's had ups and downs in his career, and
Okay, guys, let's work.
2-fight win streak with the American Top Team.
This is not good. No, Berto has turned the tables on Eve Edwards with a guillotine choke.
Eve could be in trouble here, but he's getting out of it. He's got to be careful that Edson doesn't close that guard.
2 minutes have gone in this first round. Our first submission attempt, courtesy of Edson Berto, but the veteran Eve Edwards very calmly escaped and now works on an arm lock.
That was great. Coming right out of the guillotine into a Kimura.
And that's what's so beautiful about Eve is he's been around so long, his transitions are just fluid as can be.
He needs to get that left
the right leg of his loose, so he can get so he can step over the face of Edson with his left leg.
Midway through round one, Edson Berto, Eve Edwards showing what they're like on the ground here. Scrambled by Berto on the bottom.
Yeah, good scramble there, getting guard again. He got himself out of trouble there.
Two tremendous athletes, guys.
Incredible pedigree on both parts.
Eve said that he respected the skill level of Berto, but felt that he himself was better than Berto in every way.
Edwards, a veteran of over 40 fights. Berto, close to 20 fights. So the experience does lie with Eve Edwards, who at one time, as we mentioned, considered the uncrowned lightweight champion of the world, looking to get a fresh start in here in Elite XC, and so far so good against Edson Berto. A minute 40 now left in the opening round. Going to the body is Eve Edwards.
Body, 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 head. We've seen that many a time before, and there's the neck crank.
Yeah, work at the can opener.
Work, guys, work.
No offense to Jorge, but how much more work can they be doing down there?
Definitely a lot of work here, especially in the part of Eve Edwards. And Stephen, I was going to ask you, for Edson Berto right now in the guard, he is being attacked by Berto. What does he have to do a better job of to restrict the offensive attack from Edwards?
I think he's going to try and break open the guard, try and pass the guard, posture up, drop bombs from up top, rather than staying in mid-range. He's in mid-range right now. If he doesn't posture up, he's going to continue to get, whacked a little bit.
Less than a minute remaining. Berto striking from the bottom. Edwards coming with bad intentions, ripping those shots off the body.
The can opener isn't going to be a factor against Edson. He knows that all he'll do is open up his guard and slide. But Berto is doing well, as you said, Mark, from the bottom.
Final half minute of the opening round, and referee Jorge Ortiz going to bring them back up to their feet, Bill.
I'm not a big fan of that. They were doing plenty of work down below. Beautiful!
There's one thing for sure, and that's that the kicking power of Edson is very much in evidence.
Good takedown defense being exhibited by Eve Edwards.
Oh, gee!
And Edwards just tapped out Edson Berto.
Wow, that's a new one. He had his leg up in the air and he jumped over the other leg and bam, you're out of there.
An unbelievable finish in the dying seconds, and Jason Taylor, the defensive end of the Miami Dolphins, he's standing on his feet wondering what just happened.
Eve Edwards said, "You haven't seen the best of me yet. There are some surprises left in me," and we saw one tonight. A miniature flying knee from the leg clinch.
The celebration between Ricardo Laborio and Eve Edwards teaming up with American Top Team, and something tells me, Stephen, that Eve Edwards is back.
Well, not only back, but we've had a lot of discussions about what is the strongest division here at Elite XC, and we come to the conclusion that the middleweight division is definitely up there, but the lightweight division now took a big boost. We got the lightweight champion KJ News, we got Eddie Alvarez, we got Paul Daly, and now we got Eve Edwards. Things are cracking at lightweight. That was a spectacular finish.
And Eve Edwards has made a reputation of highlight reel finishes. Remember the fight against Josh Thompson in the UFC? Well, he's just added another very impressive highlight to his reel package, the knockout in the final few seconds of the opening round of Edson Little Tiger Berto.
Nassau, Bahamas, all in this. It's one for the Bahamas, we got one more later. Let's go, Kimbo.
Okay, let's see how he did this. Okay, we got it overhead now. He's pushing down the head, and he jumps up. A very risky move, and boom, he got the knockout. It would have been a for sure takedown otherwise. Edson was out after that shot. He just jumps up. It's a lot of times in boxing, they say the short punch is the damaging punch. Well, that was a short knee, a beautiful technique. He just trademarked a brand new move. Beautiful.
Incredible finish.
Oh man, he goes for the single leg, and Eve turns to the side, and here it comes. Here it comes, Morrow.
The tremendous knee strike to the jaw of Edson Berto, and Berto went down faster than the stock market in 1929. Yves Edwards records his 33rd victory, and this one is a knockout for the ages. Let's make it official now with Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 4 minutes, 56 seconds in round number 1. A referee in charge, Jorge Ortiz, stops the contest due to strikes. He is the winner by way of knockout, Yves Edwards.
Give me the flag. Becky, I want the flag.
Hey, first and foremost, let's have a huge hand for both of these guys for an exciting fight tonight. Now, I'm here with the winner, Yves Edwards, and he's, 3-0 now with ATT, man. It looks like it's the spark in your career that you needed. You fought over 1 million times around the world, and now you're back.
I'm back, and it's all because of those guys, I found a couple guys on my own, like Tyron Woodley, and a couple other guys, but, I went back to ATT, and those guys complete my game, man. That's my family, man. I love those dudes like my brothers, man. I got like 50 new brothers in the house now,
You got it, man. And you know what? That was absolutely beautiful. I got to say, that was unbelievable. Talk us through the replay up here.
Oh, man, he's shooting for the single, and T-Wood has been pointing me out to push the head. T-Wood called for the knee, he said, he's like, throw the knee. So I just was like, screw it. If I get taken down, the round's over anyway. I won this round. Let's go to the next one, but it just landed perfect. He went down. I had to finish up.
My question is, are you looking for a little bit of KJ Noons now?
Me and KJ go way back. We've been friends for years, and he's got that goal, and that's the whole reason why we do this. So, friendship's got to step aside for those five rounds. If we got to throw down, we got to throw down. If you're not doing this to be a world champion, you need to be doing something else. Go sell insurance or pack groceries or some shit like that. But you need to be world champion. You want to do this.
You want to be the man? Now you're the man tonight. Congratulations. Everybody raise your hands for Yves Edwards.
Hey, guys. I just want to thank Elite XC. A lot of people gave up on me. You can't judge a guy by any stint in their career. But I went down 3. I went and trained with 2 of the guys that took 2 of those 3 from me. And now I'm back to being one of the best in the world. I'm coming for that goal. And I just want to thank ATT for everything, man. Those guys have brought me back to the top. Full contact fighter, jaws, mouth guards. And most of all, right behind ATT, right in front of ATT, my wife and my kids, man. They support me, and they've been pushing me, and they've always been behind me. Tanya, I love you, Mom.
You're a good man. You're a good man. Thank you very much. Let's throw it to Morrow and Quadros.
Yves Edwards sharing the love, and what's not to love about his ferocious knee knockout with just 4 seconds left in the opening round. Yves Edwards is back, and back better than ever. Well, coming up later tonight in the main event, it is from the street to elite, street certified Kimbo Slice and Tank Abbott. And earlier tonight, our good friend Bill Goldberg caught up with both main event participants.
Okay, it's Bill Goldberg back here in the dressing room with internet legend, street legend, Palmetto High School legend, Kimbo Slice. Now, Kimbo, step up in competition for you, man. I went and I trained with you with Katami and Boss. And what does it mean for you to be fighting here in your own backyard?
Man, it means everything to me to be fighting right here at the home time, at the crib, man.
Could your posse be any bigger?
Yeah, after bang Tank up.
To me, I think your posse is everybody in this damn arena, man. It looks like everybody's really coming out for you, given the, the 5th man, the 12th man, and all that. And is there anything that you're watching out for against Tank? I mean, we all know his power, but are you going to try to finish it quickly? Are you going to try to take him to the later rounds, or you got a game plan? I know you're going to follow one, but
I got a game plan I'm going to stick by, but one of my plans is to finish it quickly.
You got it, man. Well, I'll tell you what, everybody is excited to see that fight. We all wish you luck. See you later.
All right.
Yeah, Bill Goldberg back here in the dressing room with Tank. And Tank, I saw you walk in, and from the look in your eyes, I don't think we're going to have another episode with Kimbo like a Bo Cantrell. It looks like you're here to spoil the party.
Well, that's what I'm famous for. I like to spoil parties, but I obviously like to have them too. But yeah, I came down here, got a workout in earlier today, and went back, took a nap. I'm fully rested up, and I can't wait to get back in there.
Looks like you got the eye of the tiger back, man. You've been training your ass off. You've dropped some weight, and it looks like you're really taking this one seriously.
Well, I take them all seriously. It's just a matter of how much time I get to prepare. So I've had plenty of time to prepare, and I'm just ready to go out there and take care of business.
You look good. You look quick, man, and we all know that how strong you are, benching over 600 pounds, man. It's pretty damn impressive, and it's good to have you here at Elite XC, man, and have a great show tonight.
Yeah, I plan on having a great show, and I'll tell you what, it's good to be here with Elite XC. They take good care of you, and like I said, I can't wait to get in there.
You got it, buddy. Thanks, Tank.
See you, Bill.
So there you have it, the words of Kimbo Slice and Tank Abbott. The time for talk is over. We are just, well, minutes away from the main event coming up later tonight live here on Showtime. Street certified in front of a record crowd at the Bank United Center. And coming up next, we will have a fight in the middleweight division. It features a newcomer to Elite XC, Scott Hands of Steel Smith, taking on Kyle Noak, who looked very impressive in his Elite XC debut.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the cage, recognized Australian pound-for-pound contender, introducing Kyle, the Aussie Noak.
Well, we thought that, Kyle Noak would bring the thunder from down under, and that's exactly what he did in his Elite XC debut when he battered and bloodied a very tough Seth Kleinbeck en route to a technical, dare I say it, knockout last November in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Before that fight, Kyle Noak impressed us as possibly being a slow-paced counter fighter, but he proved us wrong against Seth Kleinbeck. With Scott Smith, however, the stakes are considerably higher.
Guys, you got to respect a guy like Noak because he's someone who focuses more on substance than style, and he works his ass off to get there.
No doubt about that, and Noak knows full well he's going to have to be at his best to continue his winning ways tonight.
Going to be a great fight between us. Scott Smith, he's a strong stand-up fighter. He's got really heavy hands. He's really aggressive as well.
Noak proving to be the real deal from Australia.
I think my jiu-jitsu is probably a little bit better than his. I've got to get in there and try to work my strengths against his. I think I'm prepared to take it anywhere, and I can win from anywhere. It doesn't really worry what people think or statements they make after the fight. I just want to fight and win, and I want it bad.
And now, joining us to the cage of Elite XC, here is the heavy-handed knockout artist, Scott Hands of Steel Smith.
Scott Smith is a California native whose blue-collar roots have given him the work ethic necessary to be successful in mixed martial arts. After getting a start on smaller shows, he is best known for the most dramatic comeback since Lazarus, his knockout over Pete Sell in the UFC, and he now has his sights set on achieving the ultimate prize here in Elite XC, the middleweight championship.
This guy could very easily, guys, be the middleweight champion. In fact, I'm really surprised more hasn't been made of his debut here in Elite XC, and they don't call him the Hands of Steel for nothing. Scott Smith is a huge acquisition for us.
I couldn't agree more, Bill, because the Elite XC middleweight division is stacked. It includes the champion, Robbie Lawler, Frank Shamrock, Phil Baroni just signed with us, and now the very dangerous and aggressive style of Scott Smith will fit in perfectly. Scott definitely will put pressure on Noak tonight.
And if what Smith says is true, that pressure is going to come in the form of punches in bunches.
It's a tough matchup. He's got good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, real good Muay Thai. He's got the advantage on the Jiu-Jitsu. I think my wrestling, I got the advantage there. Definitely have the punching power advantage, so I know I can knock out Kyle Noak. I'm always one punch away from winning a fight. I'm going to bring this fight to him. Noak's going to find out the hard way why they call me Hands of Steel.
Let's take a look at the tale of the tape for this middleweight matchup. Scott Smith is 1 year older than Noak. Noak has a 2-inch height advantage, and Noak came in 3/4 of a pound heavier than his opponent tonight. Let's throw it back to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Bank United Center, known as the best mid-size venue in the world, as Elite XC presents a middleweight special attraction brought to you by Never Back Down, the movie, opening in theaters March 14th. Introducing our 3 judges scoring this bout from cage side, all from Florida. Hector Gomez, Chris Lee, and Tim Vanatta. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout, Troy Waugh. All right, fans, here we go. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled. Introducing to you first on my left. He is fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches. He weighed in at 184 3/4 pounds. A mixed martial artist representing the traditions of Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. His record stands at 14 wins, 3 losses and 1 draw, with 6 knockouts and 4 submissions to his credit. Representing Jackson Submission Fighting and Integrated Martial Arts of Australia, hailing from Brisbane, Australia, introducing Kyle, the Aussie No. And his opponent across the cage. On my right, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 feet even, he weighed in at 184 pounds. His MMA style specializes in Muay Thai, and his record stands at 14 wins with 4 losses, 12 knockouts, and 2 submissions to his credit. Representing Ultimate Training Center, hailing from Elk Grove, California, please welcome the hard-hitting UFC veteran and former WEC and Gladiator Challenge champion, introducing Scott Hands of Steel Smith.
That's right, Scott. Meet me.
Once again, a referee in charge, Troy Waugh, now to give instructions.
Fighters, center of the ring, please. Center of the ring. We all know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. Let's go back to the other corners. Let's get ready to go.
Scott Hands of Steel Smith trains out of the Ultimate Training Center in Elk Grove, California. Kyle Noak out of Queensland, Australia, trains with Greg Jackson, the man affectionately known as Yoda, in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Judge, are you ready? Judge. Fighter, are you ready? Fighter, are you ready?
And I would be remiss if I did not mention Dan Higgins, Kyle Noak's trainer in Australia at Integrated Martial Arts of Australia.
Scott Smith said that there's a 30-second feel-out period just to please his trainer, Ganyal Fairtex. If he had his way, he'd come out there, because he said after the 30 seconds, it's 100 miles per hour, Bill.
You stole my line, Quadros.
At least you guys did your homework. Nice to see.
That's all good.
Okay, we got 3 seconds left, 2 seconds.
Half a minute has elapsed.
That was 30 seconds.
So far, it's Noak with the jab. Scott Smith still feeling out his opponent, making his debut here in Elite XC, and what a debut it was for Kyle Noak as he stopped Seth Kleinbeck.
I've really been looking forward to this fight.
These are 2 blue-collar guys, man. They bring their lunch pail to work every day. They don't complain. It's going to be a pleasure to watch these 2 guys bang.
Scott Smith, 14 wins, 12 KOs. Enough said.
I think some of these fans are thinking that every fight might be the street fight. This is, after all, mixed martial arts, so might want to go easy on the booze after all. This match just underway, Steven.
Good inside leg kick by Noak. He's been tagging Smith with that jab, keeping the distance. He doesn't look like that counter puncher tonight, does he, guys?
Not so far. Kyle Noak misses with the overhand right.
Scott went for the overhand right. Had a lot of power behind that thing.
Scott looks like he's feeling him out, tasting a little bit of Noak's power, and then he's going to pounce at the opportune time.
Noak is staying on the balls of his feet and using his jab, and that's going to frustrate Smith into making a mistake.
Noak doing a good job of hitting that jab. Scott Smith not being able to get the distance. 3:10 10 left in the opening round. A nice outside cut kick to the lead leg of Smith, delivered by Kyle Noak.
Noak, you gotta love him because he said he didn't come all the way from Australia for an easy fight, and for sure he doesn't have one.
And you also gotta love him because he says the cash is a bonus because he just loves to fight.
And so far, though, he is the one who is dictating the pace of this opening round. Scott Smith misses with a wild left hand. Kyle Noak, as you mentioned, bouncing the stick and move strategy.
And the roles have been reversed because the counterpuncher now is Scott Smith.
Definitely, and it's usually his style, Bill, like you say, that opens him up to counterpunching, but he's not even doing a great job of that, as it's kind of the single shot attack of Kyle Noak, and now Smith trying to bear down on him, trying to cut off the cage, Stephen.
Yeah, cut off the cage, that's the problem. I was just going to say that. The cage is round, so there's no corner to trap a guy in, so that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to get Noak to stay in one place so he can unload on him, and Noak is too elusive right now.
Doing a good job of getting through Smith's guard with his left hand. Needs to follow up, though. Needs to double up on that jab, doesn't he, Bill?
Yeah, he does. And like I said, he is... Smith is just waiting for that counter punch. He's just waiting to unload.
But while he's waiting, Noak is scoring the points.
He's eating a lot of leather.
There's a cut that is under the right eye of Kyle Noak. Interesting because it's been Noak that's been delivering the majority of the strikes, but Scott Smith's power already showing, and now again against the fence. Smith unloads a 1-2 combination.
Maybe not, it's not a smart thing by Smith, but he may be frustrating Noak because he's eaten every single thing that he's taken, and he's just coming right at him.
I think right now Noak is boxing. I don't think he's really loading up. He's definitely winning the match in numbers, but Smith is not showing any signs of wear and tear.
Good push kick there by Noak, follows up with the left hand. Smith comes back with a left of his own. 1 minute remaining in the opening round, majority of which has been really a feeling out process. Noak busy with the jab, but again, if El Papa Basroon was in his corner, would be saying follow it up. And I'm sure Greg Jackson's going to tell him the same thing.
There's the right hand, and no body shots yet, guys. No body shots.
Bill, that's a very good observation because I'm waiting for one of these guys, especially Smith, to go to the body.
It's wide open.
After having a couple of setbacks in the UFC, Smith is coming off a 22-second opening round TKO win. This one has 22 seconds left in the opening round, and a rather cautionary beginning by Scott Smith, although now beginning to unload against Kyle Noak in the dying seconds of the opening stanza. Nice cut kick by Smith. Goes for the head, shielded by Noak, misses with the overhand right. So there is life in Scott Smith after all, as he shows it here in the final 10 seconds of the opening round.
And he's loading up with all those punches.
American Gangster is a gritty masterpiece. Experience the blockbuster film plus the extended version.
Somebody's taking a contract out of my life.
With 18 minutes more movie.
Just trying to make a living.
American Gangster on DVD, February 19th.
The IBF featherweight title's on the line. Champion Roberto Guerrero defends against hard-hitting challenger Jason Litzau. Live February 29th, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, only on the Fight Network.
So there you see that eye just underneath a small cut. But obviously a round that Kyle Noak took the advantage of with the single left jabs, the single shots. Not a lot of action, but in terms of scoring, you have to give that round to Kyle Noak, I would think.
I would say, yeah, Kyle Noak definitely won that round on sheer numbers alone, on movement, on cage generalship. Smith landed a couple shots like that one, but it looks like almost like a scratch. But Smith didn't walk out of that round.
Smith just tagged Kyle Noak with the right hand. Down goes Noak. It's a knockout win for Scott Smith. Hands of steel personified.
Right when we were talking about the boxing ability of the man from down under, Scott Smith comes out and just sends a message, hell no, you're going out.
And Scott Smith hit Kyle Noak so hard he rearranged his DNA to kick off round number 2. What a win for Scott Smith. It's not how you start, but how you finish.
Big time. One punch knockout. That's how it's done. Technique plus natural punching power. 15 wins, 13 KOs now.
7 seconds into round 2. Scott Smith lives up to his moniker, the hands of steel. Touch the face of Kyle Noak, and Kyle Noak is wondering where he is, as the crowd definitely isn't booing anymore. They are simply in awe at the knockout power of Scott Smith.
Okay, let's take a look at how Smith did it. He came out a little bit less patient, absorbed that jab, and just got into a shootout and clocked him with that right hand. But the referee knew, hey, that's it. He was out. He was out before he hit the deck. Smith was shielding, almost like a TIE fighter, and it was that one shot, the beautiful straight right on the jaw, right on the tip of the chin. Perfect execution. He sat down on it. One more look here. Okay, this is the one, Morrow. This is the new addition to the Elite XC middleweight division.
And Scott Smith sends Kyle Noak back to Australia as he almost sent him down under right through the canvas with that devastating right hand. Wins for Scott Smith, 13 knockouts. Kyle Noak, nice to see he's back on his feet, but tasting defeat for the first time in Elite XC and exchanging pleasantries with his opponent. A night of knockouts so far here at Elite XC Street Certified. You don't think Kimbo and Tank are watching in the back? All right, let's take it back up to the cage to make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time, 7 seconds in round number 2. He is the winner by way of knockout, Scott Hands of Steel Smith.
Okay, I'm up here in the ring with the winner. Oh my God, absolutely a devastating knockout. And I remember in the fighters meetings, you told us that you promised your trainer that you give 30 seconds to feel out the fight, and then you were going to explode. That looked like more like 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
You guys, I'm sorry for that first round. Kyle did a great job of picking me apart. He actually rocked me with like the third punch he caught me with. It was actually my dad, I promise. That I would. He's like, just go in there and relax for 30 seconds. Kyle was picking me apart. I knew if this fight went the distance, he would probably win the fight. He won that first round. I went to my corner to Tim the Tool at McKenzie. I told him, I said, hey, I found my range. Second round's mine. I feel good. And that's what happened. I just wasn't comfortable that first round. I'm sorry, you guys. Next round from the get-go, I promise I'll be on fire.
I'll tell you what, you made up for it in one hell of a big way, and here it is, man. Talk us through it.
Like I said, I was far away the whole time. I got short arms. He's got long arms. I got in tight. Bam. Woo. Yeah, I knew I had to get in tight. Like I said, Tim the Tulip told me cross hook cross. I threw that cross and that finished it.
You got to have a lot of respect for Kyle, man. Like yourself, he's a blue collar guy. Takes his lunch pail to work. It's an honor to have you here at Elite XC. And how about Robbie Lawler?
I love fights like Robbie Lawler. When I fought Pete Sell, he was my buddy. But I love fights like that. Guys that come at you. Robbie Lawler comes at you. He's not afraid. I'm not afraid of him. That would make for one hell of a fight, you guys. I want that fight.
Everybody give him a hand.
Hey, real quick, I got to thank my sponsors. One of my cornermen and one of my sponsors are homesick. Tom from Affliction and James Irvin. They got their belly button rings got really infected. They had to stay home. So you guys, I hope you feel better. Hydrate 2-0, Lexani, Toyo. Loan Review, baby. What's up, guys? Full Contact Fighter and Fairtex. Thank you, guys.
You got a lot of sponsors. Get out of here. Okay, next, we're going to the big screen to see Goldberg spending a day training with Kimbo Slice. Gentlemen.
How you doing? You too. You too.
Kimbo.
How's it going, buddy?
Well, ready to have some fun?
This is a great warm-up, though.
Warm-up? I'm ready to go to sleep. Anybody think this stuff's easy? They got something coming to them.
You're looking good, man.
For a commentator, could you imagine Morrow doing this? Just seeing him, in shorts would make me sick.
Oh, Jesus. He goes into the cage with the mindset that he just wants to rip someone apart, but he controls it and executes the game plan. That most people cannot do. Hey! All the way through, let's go! I was gonna do that! I already did! I was gonna do that! 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I ain't training for a fight. I just gotta hold that microphone.
You're hanging there with us, man. Glad having him work out with you, man. I appreciate it, man. Hopefully it's not the last time, for sure. Hope not.
Kimbo Slice, the hometown hero, working the pads with El Guapo Boss Rudin, getting ready to work over Tank Abbott in tonight's main event. And fight fans, there's lots more information on upcoming Showtime Sports mixed martial arts and boxing events at our website, show.com. There you will find a photo gallery with shots pre-fight and post-fight. You'll also find a video player, special news links, and text promos for upcoming events. Hey, you can also see the complete toe-to-toe Goldberg training with Kimbo Slice feature. It's all at show.com.
The Coors Light Brewing Company asks, can you go too far in the details? Can you care too much about a quality ice-cold, easy drinking taste? And most importantly, oh, you're gonna blame this one on the intern. Coors Light, who wants a cold one?
American Gangster is a gritty masterpiece. Experience the blockbuster film plus the extended version.
Somebody's taking the contract out of my life.
With 18 minutes more movie.
Just trying to make a living.
American Gangster on DVD, February 19th.
Rodriguez tonight in his Elite XC debut, the guy who thinks he's as cool as the other side of the pillow. Some would say he's 10 pounds of smugness and a 5-pound bad. Well, he's looking to once again make headlines inside the cage instead of out of it.
Okay, guys, as a fighter, Rodriguez, as we all know, has accomplished a great deal in the sport of MMA. But, just my opinion, in the greater picture of life as a human being, I think the jury is still out on Rico Rodriguez.
That's very well said, Bill. Even though his striking has vastly improved, his legacy as a fighter has largely been defined for his wrestling and his grappling ability. But his conditioning has always been his nemesis. And tonight is not the night he wants to reach E on his gas tank.
Well, believe me, guys, having worked with Rico, watching him throughout the years, he never met a microphone he didn't like.
I'm just basically going to show what I do best, and that's fight.
Rodriguez locked in the guillotine.
It's going to be a war. You win, lose, or draw, I'm still coming out jacked up. If you're a real mixed martial arts fan, this is the fight of the night. I think this fight's going to be so great that there's going to be a rematch. At the end of this fight, people are going to say, Rico Rodriguez is a bad motherfucker.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the Brazilian heavyweight sensation, Antonio Bigfoot Silva.
After making the move to heavyweight, Antonio Silva has everyone talking about his potential to dominate the division. Simply put, this Brazilian behemoth who trains out of the American top team in Coconut Creek, Florida, is a physical freak who moves with the alacrity of a man half his size.
First of all, what does alacrity mean? But anyway, you know, I've been around big guys for all my life on the gridiron and everywhere else, and this guy, to me, is the equivalent of an O-lineman running about a 4.5 40. That's sick.
That is sick. The first time I saw Antonio Silva fight, in the back of my mind, I thought, is this the guy who's going to beat Fyodor Emelianenko? I was that impressed. His stand-up, his ground are world-class. He's a threat across the board.
The man they call Bigfoot is ready to take that next big step.
Alacrity?
Nice.
Eu tô bem treinado. I'm well prepared physically and technically.
Nice uppercut by Silva.
If it stays standing up, I'm very comfortable. If it goes down, that's my home. It's ground and pound, I'm very comfortable also. I want to win this fight by knockout.
And it is over! All right, we're set for this battle of the big boys, and here's the tail of the tape. Rodriguez, 4 years older than Silva, both the same height. Rodriguez with the weight advantage. And now to introduce these two heavyweight warriors. Once again, it's time to throw it to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Elite XC presents a heavyweight special attraction brought to you by Rockstar Energy Drink, Underworld Markets, and Showtime. Now we introduce to you our three judges scoring this bout from cage side. All once again from Florida. We have Hector Gomez, Rich Green, and Chris Lee. Introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions. Jorge Ortiz. All right, fans, here we go. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 4 inches. He weighed in at 262 3/4 pounds, specializing in the MMA-rich traditions of wrestling and jiu-jitsu. His record stands at 27 wins, 7 losses, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout and 15 by way of submission. Representing the American Fight Club, hailing from Staten Island, New York, please welcome the former Abu Dhabi Combat Championships gold medalist and the former UFC heavyweight champion, introducing Rico Suave and his opponent across the cage on my right. He is fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 feet 4 inches. He weighed in at 259 3/4 pounds, specializing in the disciplines of Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. His record stands at 9 wins, 1 defeat, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout and 2 by submission. Fighting out of American Top Team, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Brazilian heavyweight sensation from Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Campina Grande, Paraíba, Brazil, introducing Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Once again, our referee in charge, Jorge Ortiz, now to give instructions.
All right, guys, we went over the rules. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. I want a clean fight. Touch him up. Good luck to both of you. Back up.
Antonio Bigfoot Silva has used his exceptional Muay Thai skills to finish off 7 of his victories by KO in the first round. Rico Rodriguez, one of the best heavyweight submission fighters in the world.
You ready? You ready? Timekeeper, go!
A fight a lot of people have been waiting for is underway in the heavyweight division. Rico Rodriguez trying to exercise his personal demons, wearing the red trunks. Antonio Silva, a one-time super heavyweight, now at heavyweight, looking going to be the next big thing.
And you know, a good in-shape Rico is definitely the biggest test in Silva's career as to, to date.
There's no question about that. Antonio Silva is the current cage rage heavyweight champion. And you got to like his fight against Cabbage. You called that, Mauro. That flying knee was incredible.
He's just an incredible physical specimen. And for Rico Rodriguez, we talk about a guy who has been well over 300 pounds before Bill, was a member of the Celebrity Rehab cast on VH1, and now trying to put his life back in order. He's only 30 years of age. Let's not forget that. This guy, a former Abu Dhabi competitor, a former UFC heavyweight champion.
I mean, there's no question on the ground, Rico is in the top, top up, top 10, whatever, when he's in shape for the heavyweight division in submission, no question.
I would put him right up there with Frank Mir, Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. Now Silva tagging him, getting his attention. A minute 15 gone in the opening round.
There's one thing about Rico, he's improved his stand-up so much. That used to be his weakness. When he fought Tim Sylvia, he was like an unarmed bandit, and he just got clocked out of there.
Rodriguez,
he's hanging tough.
Showing a good job of avoiding the offensive onslaught thus far by Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Bit of a feeling out process here. High head kick blocked by Silva.
I thought Rico looked good in a losing effort against Ben Rothwell in the IFL.
Took that fight on short notice.
You guys have called Rico's fights many times. How's his quickness look at this weight right now?
I think he looks pretty good. I recall the first time Rico ever fought in Pride, he fought against Gary Goodridge. That jab sent his head back. He came in against Gary Goodridge and he threw a spinning back kick, and I couldn't believe it.
Well, gentlemen, both of you were on the broadcast crew of the fight in the WFA with Ron Waterman, where he looked very sluggish, and big improvement so far.
He was close to 400 pounds at that time. My God, anybody close to that weight, is going to look sluggish. But he's taking it seriously now.
They both touch gloves. Silva tagged him with the jaw.
Jimmy Leonard Jr. said that Rico came from the rich tradition in mixed martial arts of jiu-jitsu. Before the Ron Waterman fight, he came from the rich MMA tradition of pasta.
And cake, and Slurpees. Beautiful leg kick.
Right hand by Silva catches Rodriguez. Rodriguez tries to go for a knee, is tagged by another left from Silva. 3 minutes now gone, and I was waiting for this to take down by Rodriguez.
That was good. That was a nice takedown. He caught Silva thinking in terms of the stand-up, and it was a great way to lull him into a little bit of a sleep and to get the takedown.
And with his Brazilian background, of course, Silva working his jiu-jitsu at American Top Team, but against a guy like Rico Rodriguez, I would have to say this is not where Silva wants to be.
Rico's slick, man, and we've all wanted to see Silva's groundwork, and Rico's putting it to the test.
Do you agree or disagree, Stephen, with that statement?
I agree because of the elbow factor, but not because of the submission factor, because in fact, Silva has trained a good deal with the Nogueira brothers. And so he's seen pretty much every submission possibility you're going to see on the ground from a heavyweight by those guys.
And while Rico Rodriguez is an Abu Dhabi veteran, has 15 submission wins in his career, he's also scored some of his biggest wins via the punches and the strikes.
Ground and pound.
His biggest wins over his biggest opponents have been by ground and pound.
Final minute of the opening round. Rodriguez working Silva on the ground. Silva, the big man at 6'4", 259 3/4 pounds. Rodriguez, also 6'4", 262 3/4 at the weigh-in. So an evenly matched fight, physically speaking, as the referee Troy Waugh, or make that Jorge Ortiz looking for more action. Silva doing a good job of restricting Rodriguez thus far.
If you're Rico, how do you find a training partner that can emulate a Silva?
You have to go to a different planet.
20 seconds now left in the opening round. Nice elbow, short elbow delivered by Rodriguez from his wide base. Just grinding out the round here, Rico Rodriguez. Final 10 seconds. It ends with Rico Rodriguez in the close guard of Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Round one is in the books.
What's your most productive time of day? Odds are it's not after lunch. According to researchers, that's when 74% of us hit the wall. Now you can get over that wall with 5-Hour Energy. Just one quick drink of 5-Hour Energy will help you feel alert and productive for hours. 5-Hour Energy is packed with B vitamins, enzymes, and amino acids, 0 sugar, and just enough caffeine. So when you hit the wall, drink a 5-Hour Energy. It's available at these fine stores or go to 5hourenergy.com.
The IBF featherweight title's on the line. Champion Roberto Guerrero defends against hard-hitting challenger Jason Litzau. Live February 29th, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, only on the Fight Network.
Take the high punch. Got the double leg takedown into the closed guard of Silva. Silva really didn't expect that.
In attendance here at the Bank United Center.
You ready?
Many of them on hand for Kimbo Slice versus Tank Abbott, but we've got a heavyweight matchup here in round number 2. Rico Rodriguez, winner of 6 of his last 7 fights. The only loss to Ben Rothwell in the IFL. And Antonio Silva, only 1 loss period in his career. That being to Eric Pele at Bodog Fight in Vancouver.
Silva has never gone the distance in a fight, and I think that he knows that he's in against a very dangerous opponent. And Rico, the way he fades away from punches is actually pretty smart. He's staying out of danger from the striking ability of Silva. And to be honest, I'm pretty impressed with Rico, the way he's fighting this fight so far.
Fighting a very good tactical fight, looking to catch the kick of Antonio Silva. Comes back with a knee, but he is leaving his hands down. Is that a problem for Rico? Is he trying to bait Silva? Does he not respect his punching power?
You know, he's trying to bait him. He's trying to catch the leg. He's trying to trip him. And I can guarantee you also he seen that Eric Pele fight when Silva went down on the overhand right. It's a combination of a lot of things. Making the shoot, come up with the overhand right. Good body shot.
Silva stopping that sluggish shot by Rico Rodriguez, dropping down a level, but really didn't have any grip whatsoever.
Rico's going to work hard for this. Silva may have to work harder to make sure that he stays upright.
And this is where, again, the cage becomes a friend of the wrestler looking for the shot, as you're able to pin him up against there for leverage. Working for the takedown is Rico Rodriguez. Antonio Silva up top.
There's one thing that the cage works for the guy who's down, too. Once he's down, he can use the cage to posture back up.
And to launch himself away.
Right, exactly. So it's got, dual
Well, it's become the dominant fighting surface in mixed martial arts. You and I both, of course, working in Japan, the Pride Ring, and now Silva has Rodriguez in trouble against right there.
Yeah, see, this is, Rico's got to get out of this spot because he doesn't want to have this guy on top of him, smashing away at him.
Hammer fist.
Rodriguez gives up his back, turtling now. Silva looking to exploit this advantage he's been given. Nearing the midway point of round 2, Antonio Silva working over Rico Rodriguez along the fence.
The roll-out attempt did not work for Rico.
No, it didn't.
And Silva passes the guard into side mount.
This is going to be a problem for Rico Rodriguez because he's going to start really getting beat up here. It's going to be very difficult for him to either get guard or to get some kind of a situation where he can roll out of this. He's almost got guard out of that, and he's got half guard now, which is a
very active guard
near
by
miracle.
Rodriguez. 3 minutes gone in round 2.
He is a very big and dangerous heavyweight on top of him, raining down blows.
Do you hear the shots?
I can feel them.
Yeah, I can feel it. Me too.
Silva's ground and pound attack on Rico Rodriguez, but again, give credit to the former heavyweight champion in the UFC, Rico Rodriguez, trying desperately to stay active on the bottom. And when you're carrying around 262 3/4 pounds with that much weight on top of you,
come on, you gotta work, guys.
Definitely a very difficult task.
And I'll give credit where credit is due, but think about an in-shape, slim Rico Rodriguez. What he would be like now.
And that's all about the mental game. I mean, how much does he want to get in shape? We've seen an in-shape Rico Rodriguez before in his career. We've seen him balloon to well over 300 pounds. And now Silva continues to just take shots. The referee, Jorge Ortiz, asking them to work more. But Silva now busy with the hammer fist, heading into the final 60 seconds of the middle stanza.
Silva is in control here, but I've got to tell you, I'm really impressed with how Rico has actually improved as a fighter by this fight.
Does Rico have a gigantic eyebrow, or is that a cut over his left eye?
It may have been from one of those hammer fists. For sure it was.
He can't see out of his left eye.
Doctor! Says he can't see out of his eye. Left eye's closed.
Can you see? Okay. You want to continue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but the blood was in the small. I know, Rico. Sure. Okay, you're good. You all right?
Yeah, put your mouthpiece in. Okay. You ready?
Rico Rodriguez complaining of a lack of vision in his left eye. And obviously instructing the medical staff that yes, he still wants to fight. So
well, it's interesting that they restored him standing.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, because Silva had the advantage on top on the ground.
Bring up a very good point, fight professor.
And he lost the advantage now. And he almost ate a back kick.
Half a minute remaining now in the fight. Good sprawl by Antonio.
Antonio Rodriguez Nogueira.
Rico.
Anaconda.
He doesn't seem to be sweating, but if Silva gets back control, which he won't, but Silva on top.
Still looking to roll. So great grappling affair between the two big boys as well. As Antonio Silva looking to bust out the Anaconda choke, the gator roll, call it what you will. By the way, Milton Vieira, the one who taught Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira the Anaconda choke.
1-2, baby. Oh, no. Faint, then 1-1-2. He's trying to set you up for that knee.
Yeah, I know.
So you got to move your hands. Throw combination. He's leaving his head straight. Step off to the side.
Okay, here's some ground and pound, classic ground and pound. The right hands, the hammer fists. Silva is really trying to take Rico out of there, even though Rico's got a great guard, it's a closed guard. He's not able to defend the majority of those strikes.
Seconds out.
Silva keeps blasting away. He wasn't able to finish him. We almost thought it was over when the doctor looked at it.
Well, you're the fight professor. How do you score the fight through 2 rounds?
Well, that first round was kind of close, to be honest. You could give that to Rico. Second round, definitely Antonio Silva.
Timekeeper.
Bill?
I second that.
All right, third and final round underway. Rico Rodriguez with a problem in his left eye. It'll be interesting to see if Antonio Silva can exploit that advantage. A small cut on the left eyelid of Rico Rodriguez.
Silva should go back to the jab. He should go back to the jab, use a little bit of movement. Just throw the jab.
He's looking to put Rico to sleep.
Yeah, he's going to try and load up on someone. Either a flying knee or a head kick or something.
Good outside cut kick by Rico Rodriguez.
But in the meantime, he's sitting on the outside waiting, and that's not a good thing.
Oh, takedown by big man.
Bigfoot Silva secures a takedown on Rico Rodriguez. And he was looking to control that left arm as well, as Rodriguez wants to control Silva's posture.
What he's looking to do is rain down those hammer fists again.
Rico didn't even try to stop that takedown, sprawl, nothing. He knew he was going down.
And now continues to rain down the hammer fist.
Looks like he's content with his performance thus far.
Very methodical, very focused.
Well, Rico told us that if this fight goes the distance, that he'll be impressed. He seemed self-assured that there's going to be a rematch automatically anyway, but I don't know if that's the right attitude.
But to be honest, if Rico Rodriguez, again, with everything that's been going on in his career, I don't know if you want to publicly necessarily state you want to go the distance, because obviously that's not what you're set out to do. But again, at his size, the conditioning is a factor. And Silva now just continuing to pepper at Rico Rodriguez.
Silva might want to just step back, get it back to standing, and try to go to the body a little bit.
I agree with you.
Just step back. Because he's playing a game that Rico can last. And even if Silva gets the decision, which he will if this continues.
Although we're seeing now here in round 3 that Rico's guard not as active as it was in round 1 and 2, and fatigue perhaps beginning to play a factor as not a very busy guard.
You got Antonio laying on you like that, raining down those hammer fists. I don't believe that Rico's going to last much longer.
I think Rico can last the round, to be honest, because he's used to this position. More used to this position than the standing position.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's more used to tying Antonio.
Well, referee Jorge Ortiz gets them back up on their feet.
I think Silva should go with a body kick.
Looks like it was setting him up for a knee or a kick. How impressed are you with Antonio Silva's performance? We talk about him being the future of the heavyweight division.
Well, he's having to work in this fight. And a lot of people thought he was going to come in here and blow out Rico, but I didn't think so, because Rico was ready. Rico has gotten better as a fighter. The Rothwell fight showed that Rico is a better stand-up fighter, and he's proved that here.
Hey, let's be honest. You know, Rico Rodriguez in any shape is a slick heavyweight.
Yeah. He's experienced.
Good.
He knows all the avenues of the game.
Good takedown defense again by Antonio Silva, and you can see just in the shot attempt by Rico Rodriguez that the tank isn't as full as it was at the beginning of the fight. And now into the close guard of Antonio Silva as we near 90 seconds left in this heavyweight battle.
And I want to see if Silva can do something with the guard rather than just close it up and try and tie Rico up. I think Silva knows that if he tries for any kind of a submission, he's going to get his guard passed, and then he's going to have some problems. So he's keeping the closed guard, but he's got to be able to wrap up the arms of Rico to hope for a restart.
1 minute remaining now in this, the final round between Rico Rodriguez and Antonio Silva.
Come on, let's get busy, guys.
I think Silva might want to think about being a little bit more active in striking from the bottom.
Rodriguez doing a very good job here in the final minute.
Yeah, he is. See, Silva doesn't want to get side-mounted by Rico, for sure. But he's got to do something. We're seeing Rico not only survive, but also pull this thing back into where it's actually a competitive fight. Come on, work. Open guard, heel on hip by Silva. Silva might want to try a pushback and see if he can get back to his feet.
Rodriguez busy delivering those elbows as well. Final 10 seconds. This one is going to go to the judges' scorecards. Rodriguez trying to make an impression here in the final few seconds of round 3. Wow. So sportsmanship, both of them embrace each other. A very close heavyweight battle between Rico Rodriguez and Antonio Silva. Up to the judges to adjudicate a winner in this one.
It was close. That's going to be tough for the judges to score because Rico really came on in that last minute or two. Got the takedown. Silva couldn't do anything from his back. He didn't get totally beat up, but still.
Yeah, a tough way any which way you score it. Antonio Silva, again, Rico Rodriguez.
Rico's got to be happy about his performance, and Silva can't be happy. He can't be happy because usually he dominates people.
Right.
He's never gone the distance ever.
And again, there are people out there who will say, well, he's fighting a former UFC heavyweight champion, but a former UFC heavyweight champion who hasn't been that person for a few years now.
Rico has been written off so many times, and here he is again. What do we say about cockroaches? I mean, you know, the nuclear war, and then still be. I mean, this guy. You got to be impressed by Rico Rodriguez to go the distance with a guy that was being earmarked as the next big guy.
Right.
And a guy that may or may not have won one, maybe 2 rounds. I don't know. I've said it before, and I've been a judge before. I've been a judge for the UFC, King of the Cage, IBC. This is one I wouldn't want to be a judge for.
I judged a pudding eating contest once in elementary school, and Rico Rodriguez wasn't in it, but that's the extent of my judging. Thank you. So we are awaiting the official decision, and still to come, of course, the main event, Street Certified, Kimbo Slice, Tank Abbott. Been a great night of fights here on Showtime. Lots of knockouts. Now Antonio Silva still looking rather refreshed, bouncing up. He's sporting the flags of his home country of Brazil, and of course his team flag, American top team. Rico Rodriguez, training out of the American Fight Club in Las Vegas. Saul Solis. So, Stephen, bit of a delay here in terms of the scoring. Usually that means that there's a bit of, wow. Well, we know why there's been a delay. Let's make it official with Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Chris Lee, scores the bout 29-28 in favor of Rico Rodriguez. Judge at ringside, Rich Green, scores the bout 30-27 in favor of Antonio Silva. Judge at ringside, Hector Gomez, scores about 29-28 in favor of the winner, Antonio Bigfoot Silva.
Okay, congratulations, Antonio. My question is, were you surprised at how competitive Rico was?
Você esteve surpreso com quanto bem estava o Rico?
O Rico sempre um bom lutador, sempre um lutador perigoso. E já era o que eu esperava, uma luta bem dividida. E graças a Deus consegui sair vencedor.
Rico is and always be a dangerous fighter. He knew it was going to be a tough fight, and thank God he came out on top.
No question, he was a step up in competition. Congratulations. Now, what are your thoughts on the main event coming up?
Sem dúvida, isso foi cara mais duro. Quais são os seus pensamentos daqui por diante?
Meu pensamento daqui adiante é pedir ao Garichel, I want the belt heavyweight, please. Yes, I want the belt. And I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. This is not the best my fault. Sorry.
There's always next time. Everybody give it up for Antonio Silva. Woo!
Desculpa, pessoal. Eu não consegui ter a luta como eu esperava, que é 15 dias antes da minha luta. Eu, infelizmente, machuquei o meu ligamento.
He just wants to say that he didn't find it his best today. 2 weeks ago, he tore his MCL, and he couldn't come back 100%, but he gave his best.
Great things to come. Congratulations. Go back to cage side.
Much a tougher fight than many people expected as Antonio Silva records his 10th victory, and there is David Tank Abbott mulling over his future in just a few moments. He will step into the cage with Kimbo Slice, visualizing, contemplating what is about to take place. And as we approach the main event of the evening, we invite you to check out more Elite XC action brought to you by Pro Elite. Go to show.com/Pro Elite, where you'll see interviews with all of tonight's fighters, pre-fight as well as post-fight. You can watch streaming of tonight's event as well as other upcoming shows from Cage Rage, Icon Sport, and Grappler's Quest. Plus, you can even post your own photos and fight footage. And make sure you visit the Pro Elite store with exclusive Elite XC merchandise. That's show.com/Pro Elite, your home for mixed martial arts.
Are you ready to change your life, look younger, and be stronger?
I went from a size 38 to a size 30 and lost over 70 pounds.
You too can get remarkable results with Bowflex Home Gyms. All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week.
When they say you can work out 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, they mean exactly that. You've got to get this DVD. It'll change your life.
Call now for a free DVD that shows how you can get great results with Bowflex Home Gyms.
I gave all of my fat clothes to my fat friends.
Only Bowflex Home Gyms have Power Rod technology, the secret to getting a strong, sculpted body fast.
I am not embarrassed to take my shirt off. I look better. I feel better. My wife gives me that little wink every now and then.
Own your very own Bowflex Home Gym for no money down and low monthly payments. Be strong, be fit, be Bowflex. Call or go online now for your free DVD that tells you all about Bowflex Home Gyms. Call now.
Hey, a 305 till I die. Hey, a 305 till I die. Man, I've been on the ground, 1 in the head, 16 in the 9. I'm extra, man. The game is mine, 2 time. It's alright, I'm patient, man. I know how to play my position. I know how to play my part. I know how to play these bitches. I know how to play with their hearts. I've done some dumb things, but for the most, I play it smart. Who cares if you run things? Cause I'm as live on the 6 and Park. This game is nothing but a pool of blood with a bunch of sharks. Only the strong survivors do or die, get it right. That's why I vote for my peoples. Come back to the wall for my peoples. Break bread with my peoples. Man, I die for my peoples. Everybody knows the truth. That's why I respect everything that I do. Everywhere that I go, every friend that before, every bitch that behold it. I sold it all. No B to the X, from the X to the blow. Mark my words, I'm next to blow. B to the I to the T, T to the B, B to the U, go to the L. B, I'ma sail like ice cream in hell. This is my peoples that's locked up in jail. I'ma succeed, I'm never gonna fail. Bible, just hey, 305 till I die. Hey, a 305 till I die. Hey, a 305 till I die. Hey, a 305 till I die. 305, you ready for that street certified? Yes, sir. One time, Jim Johnson, Kimbo, you already know what it is, Lil John, yes, sir.
I'm looking to be victorious, but I'm not looking for the fight to be easy.
If he thinks he's using me as a stepping stone, you better go looking around. We both have a mentality from the street, and we're going to bring it into the cage.
2 bears going at it, 2 ferocious lions. Balls to the wall,
coming at you.
All it takes is 1 punch, 1 kick to the head. Breaking his arm,
arm lock on him,
breaking his jaw,
knock him out,
break his ribs.
He's going to leave on a stretcher. Kimbo's going down, knock him out.
Be ready, because it's going to be a lot of blood.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us to the cage of Elite XC for the main event, here is MMA street brawling pioneer, the colorful Tank Abbott.
You can hear the reaction for David Tank Abbott here at the Bank United Center in Miami. He is more Public Enemy than Flavor Flav, but he really doesn't care. He fights for fun. He fights as a hobby. This is a man who got a start in mixed martial arts back in 1995. Had to come up with a style. They called him a pit fighter. He has no respect for traditional martial arts. And really, at the end of the day, he does not respect Kimbo Slice. Tonight, Tank Abbott is looking to rain on Kimbo Slice's Sunshine State Parade. And you can see in the crowd the signs, Kick-Ass Kimbo, a partisan crowd. And get ready for the eruption you're about to experience. We talked about a record crowd in attendance here at the Bank United Center in Miami. And they have all come to bear witness to this.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the popular street fighting legend from Miami, Kimbo Slice.
showtime. Kimbo Slice is set to prove he is a legitimate mixed martial arts fighter. We are about to see the street come to elite. It is Cage Fury, it is Kimbo Slice, and Tank Abbott. This type of tension you cannot cut with a knife. It requires a blowtorch. Let's take you to the numbers for our main event for Elite XC Street Certified. Tank Abbott is 8 years older than his opponent Kimbo Slice. Slice is 2 inches taller. Abbott weighed in at 263 pounds. Slice came in at 234 pounds. Let's go over the rules of combat for this main event. 3 judges will score the fight. They will score each round based equally on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and cage control. Scoring is done on a 10-point must system. The winner of each round receives 10 points, the loser 9 or less. No knees or downward elbow strikes to the head of a grounded opponent are allowed, and only the referee or doctor can stop the fight. It's Street Certified. It is the main event. It's time once again for Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bank United Center here at the University of Miami, Florida, as Elite XC presents the featured bout of the evening, made possible by Rockstar Energy Drink, Hunter World Markets, and Showtime. This bout is sanctioned by the Florida State Athletic Commission, the chairman, Eduardo La Casa, vice chairman, Don Bowen, executive director, Tom Malloy. Introducing our 3 judges scoring from cage side, all from Florida, Hector Gomez, Chris Lee, and Tim Vanata. And our 3rd man in the cage, introducing Troy Waugh. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled in a heavyweight special attraction. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and MMA fans joining us around the world, live from Miami, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet even, he weighed in at 263 pounds. Truly MMA street brawling pioneer, his record stands at 9 wins, 13 losses, 5 wins coming by way of knockout, and 3 by submission. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the colorful UFC veteran from Huntington Beach, California, introducing Tank Abbott. And his opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches. He weighed in at 234 pounds. This longtime street fighting icon is described as a brawler with a professional MMA record of 1 win, no losses, 1 win coming by way of submission. Representing Team Kimbo, fighting under the tutelage of Bas Rutten. He hails from Miami, Florida, by way of Nassau in the Bahamas. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the heavy-handed phenom, the popular legend and street fighting star of the internet. Here he is, the one and only Kimbo Slice. Once again, the referee in charge, Troy Waugh, now to give instructions. Fighters, center of the ring. Gentlemen,
tolerate anything less. Go back to your corners. Let's get ready to rock and roll.
Tank Abbott has been in mixed martial arts since 1995. The question on many people's minds, which version of Tank will we see tonight, Sherman or Septic? Meanwhile, Kimbo Slice calls himself a bear, calls himself a lion. He is out to prove that he's got more game than a wildlife reserve. Wait for the eruption of the crowd here at the Bank United Center. It is absolutely volcanic.
Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Fighter, are you ready? Fighter, are you ready?
Cage tested, street certified. The two balls made in the center of the cage. Forget about a feeling out process. Kimbo Slice has Tank Abbott down. And this one is over. Not yet. Oh my, what a start.
One more time, I'll take it for you.
It looked like Tank Abbott was up.
Back of the head. I think Kimbo hit him with a shot at the back of the head. That's why they stopped it. They wouldn't have stopped. No question.
Tank's already hopping. Controversy already.
Unbelievable.
Somebody's mouthpiece flew out.
Kimbo Slice means business.
Slightly.
Tank Abbott, these two again ready to tee off. What a start already to this main event. Just listen to this crowd.
They actually touched gloves. Oh, that right hand really hurt Tank.
Uppercut.
Tank's
Abbott gets another right across the jaw. The third one's the charm. Kimbo Slice wins the main event.
wow. Tank went out on his shield, face down. This is exactly what the crowd wanted.
Stephen, you've been in Japan and the UK. Listen to this crowd.
This is insane. Moro, you and I have called some of the greatest fights in Japan. And this reaction, this is loud. I'm glad I got the headphones on.
There have been many critics of Kimbo Slice coming into mixed martial arts. I think those critics have been silenced by taking a look at the sea of humanity here at the Bank United Center in Miami. This guy puts asses in seats, my friend.
Well, not only that, but he knocked out a guy that's really hard to be knocked out. Tank had only really ever been knocked out one time before. That was by Pedro Rizzo in Brazil. And they went out there and they did exactly what everybody wanted.
His fiancée, Antoinette Ray. We had a chance to visit with her and Kimbo Slice's mother, Mrs. Ferguson. Last night, both of them nervous, but both of them sighing a huge sigh of relief now and enjoying the celebration. Kimbo Slice KOs Tank Abbott.
Tank actually had a fairly good game plan to try for the takedown. His secondary game plan was to use the jab. He's got a pretty good jab. Then he went to plan C, which is to throw haymakers, and that was his biggest mistake.
And then Kimbo went to plan KO. There's a Wapo boss move. His manager, Isaac Mike.
Okay, it wasn't without a little bit of controversy. Here they go, trading. Kimbo trying to find the range on the right hand, using a little bit of movement here. Tank coming in, swatting away. Kimbo landing with that left hand right on the button, and then blasting away, hitting Tank directly behind the head a couple times. It was actually a good call by the referee. Kimbo got excited. I'm sure he didn't do it intentionally. He was in the heat of the moment, but still, he got a warning, and the crowd didn't like it. The next knockdown, Kimbo was hunting for blood. So was Tank. It's just that Kimbo was a little bit more compact, using head movement, and it was a beautiful right hand right on the jaw. Sent Tank down to elbows and knees. Tank worked for a takedown, and then they were shooting it out again. Tank hitting
You know, I mean, Kimbo was catching him with good counter shots. Boy, there's the knockout right there. Right on the button. Tank went down and he knew. Tank will not find any controversy on this. I'm sure Tank will admit, hey, look, he did that after Pedro Hizzo beat him. He said, you beat me, okay? Kimbo right on mark. All the work in the gym, all the focus. He's getting sharper, folks. Tank brought it though, but he just had no defense. No head movement when he needed it. Kimbo hunted it down and slew him.
Tonight here at the University of Miami, Kimbo Slice proves that he is indeed the big man on campus.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 43 seconds in round number 1. Our referee in charge, Troy Wall, stops the contest due to strikes. He is the winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Kimbo Slice.
They didn't last long, but what do you got to say, Kimbo?
First thing I want to say is to God be the glory. I want to thank Showtime and Elite XC for making this possible for me and my family. You know what I'm saying? Miami, we in the house, baby. What's up? What's up? After party will be at Opium, by the way.
You know, it looks like within that 30 seconds that the trainer for Boss Rutan and Randy Katami was kind of thrown out the window, man. It looked like a damn street fight to me. You got to take your hat off to Tank, man. He came in, he banged. Yep. He's of the same kind of cloth, man, and he looked like he showed some really good sportsmanship at the end. What do you got to say about Tank?
I can say it now, man. I got a lot of respect for Tank. I always watched him growing up as a shorty. You know what I'm saying? And this was one of my dream fights along with Tyson. You know what I'm saying? To get in the ring and bang with Tank. My hat goes off to you, Tank, man.
Okay, man, we're going to go to the replay. It was short, it was sweet, and it was powerful. Talk me through it.
The right straight, left cross. I wanted him to get up. I wanted to bang. I kept telling Boss that I wanted to bang. I missed the uppercut. I had to push him off because we were too close. Boom, see? Too close. Tail of the tape.
Street fighting legend. Obviously, we've got a lot better things to see from Kimbo Slice in the future. Everybody give him a big hand. Miami's hometown, Kimbo Slice.
Definitely the hometown favorite. A standing ovation for the entrance. A standing ovation after his thunderous knockout victory. Kimbo Slice legitimizes himself as a mixed martial artist. And watch out, heavyweight division in Elite XC. Mauro Ranallo back here with the fight professor, Stephen Quadro. Stephen, I can barely hear myself think. Absolute bedlam here tonight.
And it was such an amazing fight, even with the slowdown and the controversy. Kimbo came out and shot down one of his idols.
It was a night of knockouts, in fact, here in Miami. A great evening of fights, and you couldn't ask for a better performance from Kimbo Slice, from the likes of Brett Rogers making his debut on Elite XC.
Brett Rogers has arrived. Heavyweights are really coming up in Elite XC, and this guy took out a Pride veteran impressively.
What about Scott Smith? A little bit of a slow start. Apologize to the crowd for that, but boy, did he end things quick in round 2.
Well, Scott Smith, he struggled because of Kyle Moak, how good he is. But Scott Smith solved the puzzle, dropped that right hand, and goodbye.
So an unbelievable night of fights here, live on Showtime, Elite XC Street Certified. We've got Big Bill Goldberg. Did a great job in the cage. And Bill, I mean, you've been around the fight business a long time, the sports
want to say, you guys have commentated in Japan with 90,000, 100,000 people. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't give a damn about traditional mixed martial arts. Kimbo Slice puts asses in seats, and he puts on a hell of a show. So for that, you gotta respect it.
And I guess the next question for you is, who's next for Kimbo Slice?
Well, that'd be the question for Kimbo to ask and Gary Shaw and Pro Elite, but, you know, I'm thinking it's probably the winner of Ken Shamrock's next fight.
There has been talk that Ken Shamrock may be next in line. Of course, Ken Shamrock is going to make his Cage Rage debut. You and I will be in England for March 8th.
Yeah, we'll work on our language there. Ken Shamrock, one of the legends, and Ken Shamrock would be an incredible fight with Kimbo.
And of course, Frank Shamrock and Kong Lee, March 29th. It is going to be a sensational year for Elite XC, teaming up with Strikeforce. What about that fight? And talk about the atmosphere in San Jose that night.
Unbelievable, man. I mean, the last time we were there with Strikeforce, the Beaver Pits, it was unbelievable for Kong Lee. You got Frank Shamrock against Kong Lee. They both train there. And to be perfectly honest, the only thing I'm worried about is the next toe-to-toe, because I got to go with both of those guys.
Well, how can you tell? We are very excited about tonight's fights. It was a memorable night of mixed martial arts. The first major show of the year, Elite XC, as we take a look at the results of Street Certified. Brett Rogers stunned James Thompson with a barrage of blows and won by TKO at the 224 mark of round one in their heavyweight fight. Eve Edwards, he shocked Edson Bruto with a left knee to the side of the chin with just 4 seconds left in round one to record a knockout win in their lightweight matchup. Scott Smith unleashed a devastating strike right to the jaw of Kyle Noak, right on the button. Just 7 seconds into round two to win by knockout in their middleweight affair. Antonio Silva had a tough fight against the former UFC heavyweight champion Rico Rodriguez, but Silva improves to 10-1 with a split decision win. And what more can be said about Kimbo Slice? It took just 43 seconds. He and Tank Abbott went toe-to-toe, and it was Tank Abbott that fell, as you put it, Stephen, on his sword. All right, on behalf of the Fight Professor, Stephen Quadros, and of course, Bill Goldberg, I'm Mauro Ranallo. Of course, for more information on Showtime